We have great cocktail hours. We celebrate the bad times with the cocktail, and we celebrate the good times.
It's realistic.
That's real. My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is The Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. Hey, welcome back to The Closing Table. I am your host, Kevin C. McIntosh. And on this very special episode of The Closing Table, we have the pleasure of speaking with a team today. And on the line, we have Jessica Maitland, Laura Smith, and Joel Sodeman. How you doing?
Good.
We're great.
Thank you all for being here. A very special treat we have with the whole team being here. A little bit different from what we do on The Closing Table, but I'm expecting to have some fun. And speaking of fun, I like to start things off with a little bit of fun, an icebreaker for you all. It's called Fill in the Blank. Exactly what it sounds like. A few sentences all related to real estate, but they are incomplete. I need you to fill those in with the context that makes sense. This is what I would like to do. One sentence per person, and the last one will be for any and everyone to answer. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do this. Jessica, blank makes a neighborhood more valuable.
Schools.
Nice. Laura, a way to leverage high mortgage payments is blank.
A way to leverage high mortgage payments is, well, buy down the, that's the opposite, buy down the points. Why'd you give me that one?
We can toss that up to anyone. You can get help.
I would break up the payment. I would do it, every other week. When you get your paycheck, pay a little bit at a time.
I like buy down the points.
Yeah, by the end of the month, you've got it taken care of.
Nice.
Good,
Okay.
Good job, Joel.
Here's one. Anyone can grab this one. Equity can be explained as blank.
The money earned on your investment through payments or through buying with cash or through value increase.
Okay.
Way to go, Laura.
Last one. I believe blank would make the real estate industry better.
That's a good one.
I love this.
Well, integrity amongst our agents.
Honesty amongst.
More houses for sale.
Oh, actually, great answer. No wrong answer here. Great. Well, appreciate you all starting things off a little bit casual with our quick icebreaker / game. Let's get into it. First, starting off with a brief introduction of each and every one of you. If we can do this in about 30 to 60 seconds, I want you all to take time out and tell us who you are outside of real estate.
Okay. I'll start.
You're on the left.
I'm a mom with 3 young kids, so that takes up most of my time outside of real estate. I have an 8, 6, and 2-year-old, so I don't have a whole lot of time for much besides real estate and my family right now. I'm a local.
And just give your name too, by the way. Sorry to cut you off.
Jessica Maitland.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in Hazlitt, went to Michigan State, lived in Chicago in my 20s, had a baby with my husband, and moved back to Lansing area, joined the real estate team with my parents. And then this guy came along a couple years later. He joined with us.
Nice.
Joel Sodeman. I'm a father of 3 adult women. I also have a stepson, Caleb, and I'm a husband, and I'm a runner. That's what I do.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'm Laura Smith, and I'm a mother to 2 and a grandmother to 7.
Hey.
And that's my favorite role, and wife. And as I said, I hope a good citizen and neighbor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. I love to separate the person from the profession. We're all humans first and foremost. We all have families and things of that nature. Now we get into the business part. Before we talk about exactly what you're doing, let's talk about where you're doing it. If you can explain or describe your current market that you all serve, first geographically talking about the location, and then economically talking about what's going on real estate wise.
Let's start again.
I'd say I mostly deal with East Lansing, Hazlitt, Bath, Okemos area. I live in East Lansing. My buyers, I think, tend to be 200 to 400,000 range. It's a very competitive market in that range in those areas.
Okay.
I do greater Lansing area for the most part. If I had a area that I do most, I would say it's Lanesburg. And it's a little bit rural, but some lakes out there, some bigger properties. That's what I do.
Okay.
I do a lot of probably considered higher end condos has been my specialty for the last 20 years. And so a lot of, I'd say anywhere from 3 to 600,000, Bath, East Lansing, I like it. New construction. I love new construction.
Okay. I'm gonna have to pick your brain about that a little bit later, Laura. With that being said, okay. So let's talk about you all entering the real estate industry for the first time. I really want to get the story about when you made the decision to enter the real estate industry, whether you're, an agent, a broker, or whatever the case may be. Just talk to me about the moment when you said, you know what, I think I want to do this.
I'm still not sure I want to do it every day. I worked in real estate in Chicago. I never had my license. I just worked in the business. And my mom she's my mom if we didn't get that far. She's worked in real estate forever. So, I've always observed it, and I knew you could have a good work-life balance. Comes with some stress and some crazy situations, but there's also a nice balance. Wanting a family, having kids, it just was the natural fit, to move back and join her.
I never wanted to be a real estate agent.
Well, no, right?
No, I really like my job. I did Starbucks management for quite a while. Before that, I was pastor for a while. But I kind of got recruited in, and I've never really liked sales. I don't like salesmen. I don't like sales pitches.
Same.
It's a lot different. You can make it different, I think. And I know it sounds very cliche, but if you're really into helping people and want to get them into a good house, a safe house, a place that they love, it's very fulfilling, and I really enjoy it.
I can see that. Okay.
So I would say I probably thought about real estate when I was about 11 years old because I started drawing house plans. And I would have my mother take me to the store to buy house plan magazines. You're too young to know about that. But anyway, I would pore over those. And so I've always loved homes and the whole idea of it. So that's kind of where my love started.
At 11 years old, that is crazy. That is a very early age. So were your parents involved in it too, to the point where you kind of saw it? Really?
Nope. They were in the employment industry. So I've just, this was my thing.
Got you. Okay, well, we have you all here for the first time having an actual team on the closing table. With that being said, can you all speak on why it's better to work as a team rather than to work individually? Because technically you all could have been here individually. You all chose to do this as a team. You work better as a team. Talk about that. Speak on it.
Well, I think you can get through stressful situations better. You have advice, and usually people have been there, so you don't feel alone, and you can get out of it, and people help you through it. It's also more fun. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that you know, they say shared pain is half pain, shared joy is double joy. So
Mm.
we um, we work through the hard stuff together. You know, if we get a weird contract, well, if I get a weird contract that comes in, we all look it over so that I don't miss anything. We cheer each other on. It's not a competition about who does more. We're happy when somebody does well.
Right.
And it's just it feels like well, it is family for
It
them,
is family.
and then there's just me.
We
Family.
No, but it is to have somebody like Laura who's been doing it for a while and bounce things off her. And we make our tough decisions. I would say we make as a team.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Laura, I want to dig more into your experience in your profession. 20 plus years in condo construction. Can you talk about the main obstacles? Because I hear different markets of different people in different markets talk about the obstacles they have to face with new developments, new construction, and things like that. Are you coming across any of those obstacles with condo construction at all?
Well, just probably not enough product. And, we're seeing our age group, the baby boomers, really want to get into, that maintenance free lifestyle. And there's not
Yep.
enough product out there to
Mhm.
offer them. And construction has gone up so drastically in price. So, I think part of it is just finding something affordable. So it's interesting. I always say, and this is Hawk Hollow where I live and work mostly, and there's people in here who are downsizing from huge homes and want a simpler life, and then there's people that are buying, their dream home. So it's kind of an interesting combination, but I think that we'll need more of this. We have one going on right now where they're building a condo to take their parents out of assisted living because it's become unaffordable. So I think we're going to see that in the
Really?
future where, we're going to have more available where there's at home living because, us baby boomers, there's a lot of us. So,
Oh.
so obstacles I think are just finding a good builder, finding a land, and just getting it going quickly enough. A lot of people don't want to wait for a home; they want it now, so that doesn't bode well for the 7 months or whatever it'll cost to build.
Right. So a follow-up question to that: do you feel like condos are a sustainable solution to not only low inventory and affordable housing, but to the baby boomer generation who are looking to get out of those nursing homes? Is that like an actual realistic solution to that, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's going to be an option for people, for
Okay.
families because I just heard of this family that's paying over $5,000 rent a month for assisted living. And, they
Goodness.
could, live in a home with care with somebody there for a lot less. So, um, and for the next generation, I think you're all going to grow old and you're all going to want to have this less maintenance. So, and a lot
Correct.
of it is people that have homes in northern Michigan and they go there in the summer or they go to Florida in the winter and they don't want a big house. So it's a solution for a lot of different people for, their lifestyle.
Nice. Random question, kind of piggybacking off a previous question. From your personal experience, Laura, why is it better to work with your family, or why is it important to work with your family? Let's say that.
Oh, it's the best. We have great cocktail hours. We celebrate the bad times with the cocktail and we celebrate the good times.
It's realistic.
That's real.
That's real estate.
very
I have
true.
a T-shirt that says that. They're just there for you. And I've been working. My husband's not here today, but he's been my partner in this for as many years. He's done ton of the administrative work, and
He's our paperwork guy.
he's our paperwork
We don't
guy.
call him transaction.
Okay.
And a driver. And so I couldn't have done it without him. So he's been amazing. And this one, she's just, my back. She's got my back all the time. And
Oh,
he's family. We love
Our
him.
adopted son.
Yes,
That's
our
right.
adopted
Brother.
son. So
I bet. I love
I
it.
wouldn't have it any other way. It's been kind of a tough year, and they were all right there for me. So
Nice. I bet. I mean, anybody. I mean, it doesn't work like that for everybody. Some people, they'll work with family and it's like, I could never do this again. Or, some people just know from jump, I can't work with family. I wouldn't even try it. But for you all to actually do it and, have other people involved and bring them in and make them feel like family, it just speaks a lot to, to how you all, bring people in, make them feel great. Does anyone have a particular story of a relationship they've built with the client throughout the transaction? Maybe you all seemed like you were from two different worlds initially, or didn't talk initially, or maybe it was awkward initially, and then it grew into something where you all were very close by closing, or the relationship was great and towards closing and after closing it was even closer. Does anyone have a story like that to share with us?
Well, I this spring actually, well, in the winter, she had a little health issue, so she didn't work for a couple of months, and I took on some of her clients, and we have some different age clients that we serve. So she handed me an older couple, and I think at first they didn't think they trusted me, or they weren't so sure they wanted to work with her, and I would say pretty quickly I gained their trust, and we ended up doing really great together. And even after we closed, I helped them, list some furniture online because they weren't so tech savvy, and got stuff out of their house. And we just had a good experience. And I think I proved age doesn't always matter.
Mm-hmm. So you said you actually helped them move some things out, or?
Yeah. We never stop
Wow.
after closing.
Never.
We listed it online.
never
and
stops.
I got my husband and my friend's husband in there to move a big piece of furniture. Yeah.
There it is. Nice.
It's how we work. I would say we're very relational. I'm going to a wedding this summer from one of my clients that they were in my wedding.
Oh, look, they're okay.
Yeah. I mean, when you're showing people 5, 6, 7, 8, 20 different houses, and if you can't somehow find a way to relate and laugh, I mean, that's part of our MO is that when we're going to try to do our best to make this as much fun as we can and relaxed, and share our lives together. And as you can see, we don't dress all the way up like what I would call the old way of real estate, where you got the suit and ties. You look very nice. I'm not saying we don't look nice, but where it's
Joel wears sleeves today.
Yeah, no, I didn't wear my sugar daddy shirt either. But it's see, now I've lost my train of thought. It's about gaining trust, and not being salesman-y, because really we talk about the boomers, that's big, but what is it? The millennials are the biggest.
Oh yeah.
Now, and it's relational, and it's texting, and it's all those types of things. But yeah.
That's what I like to hear. You going to a client's wedding, they're going to your wedding. Like, that type of relationship building it's unique, but it just shows the value of building rapport. And then I'm pretty sure at that wedding or anywhere, they're like, hey, this is he got us our home. If you're looking for a home, reach out to Joel, or whatever the case may be. So I just know building those relationships, very, very important. It gets you your referrals, it gets you continued business. So I love for agents to speak on that. Since we are talking about getting leads and getting clients, does anyone have a unique story to share in regards to how you randomly or untraditionally got a client? Maybe they saw a polo that you were wearing with your brand. Maybe they overheard you talking and they walked up to you and you end up selling or purchasing a home for them. Anyone have that story?
Do you want me to go?
Go for it.
All right. So my husband, and this is happening currently, and I think it's pretty cute. we were at Home Goods buying a couple of cards and a gift bag, and this woman walked up. This was just, a month ago. And she's engaged Larry in conversation, and I was in a hurry. But anyway, they made a connection, and she contacted us, and now she's under contract for a condo build here.
Nice.
I think that's
Nice.
good.
She
Good old
liked
Home
his
Goods.
bad jokes. So.
Yeah, she liked his bad jokes. And
They're not bad. They're dad.
They're dad jokes.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That's hilarious. See, that's self-marketing. You just never know where people could come from. You know, word of mouth, or that. I brought up the fact of someone just wearing a polo with their brand because I've heard of a story like that too. Someone said, "Oh wow, you do real estate." Side note: it's always funny when people say you do real estate. Like, what is doing real estate? Anyway, when someone says, "Oh, you do real estate," we're looking to buy a home or we're looking to sell our home, and then they just go from there. Like,
Right.
it could be the smallest things that can get you new clients, but you have to be open to communicating, talking to others, and things of that nature too. Joel, this one's for you. Can you explain how any of your previous occupations you may have held has given you an advantage in the real estate industry today?
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys have heard me say this a million times, but NAR did a study, and they say that the best real estate agents, their previous jobs were teachers or nurses. And it's more and more about taking care of people than it is about selling a house.
Mhm.
If you can get that client to buy into yourself through honesty, through integrity, then you're going to help them find a house. We're not selling houses per se. We're helping people sell their house or helping people find a house. So I think being a pastor, I think Starbucks too, just learning to care about people. At Starbucks, one of our big MOs was relationship building. In Chicago and in New York, they'll have 3 Starbucks right next to each other, but they're going to go to the one where the barista or the manager says, "Hey, Laura, how are you doing? You're going to get your grande non-fat latte today."
Right.
That type of thing. It's all about being honest and kind. Kindness wins.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It's a service industry. Customer service and being personable, all of that type of thing is very, very important, more than anything. Speaking of service, the community, the people, volunteering. Most agents, have some type of part of their day, their career, where they say, I'm going to dedicate this to volunteering or community service. Do any of you all, individually or as a group, have any volunteer events that you've worked on, are working on, have worked on, that are near and dear to your hearts?
Go ahead.
No, I'm the vice president of the parent council at school. So yeah, that's, that's where I am in life with my kids at that age. And it helps because it's the neighborhood we live in. So, as far as real estate, it might help down the road. People know me and they know what I do, but I love our school and our neighborhood and the school district. So I'm happy to do that.
Well, hopefully you learned it from
You.
back. I volunteered my whole life for just where I was at that time and what I was doing, whether it was in the schools or junior league or just different things. And I've served on the board too, through GLAR, our association, grievance committee, and then finance committee. And I wrote down, REMAX raises a lot of money for the Children's Miracle Network. That's one of our big things as an industry, not just us. And and that a lot of that goes to Sparrow Hospital, which is a good thing. And I volunteered there briefly because it was too heartbreaking in the pediatrics department.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So that's me. How about you?
I don't believe in volunteering. No. Cut. My daughter has diabetes. She had type 1 diabetes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So we've done quite a bit for JDRF. And they have a walk every year at Michigan State on campus, which is right over here. And it's great. So that's what I do.
Random curveball for anyone who wants to answer this. How do you feel about networking at volunteer or community service events? You with it or against it?
I'm not good at it. I don't.
I just think relationship building, it all comes to you. Everything is good about doing the right thing, being a good person, and it'll all come to you. So
We don't really throw ourselves out there.
we don't
too
do
much.
the business network thing.
Right.
What do you think back there?
Well, I think a lot of the networking can be a little bit superficial. I know that's just my thing. Again, our MO is building deeper relationships with people and building our own network through referrals. Because again, like you'd said before, you're at the wedding and they're like, oh, this is Joel. Oh, by the way, he helped us buy this house. That's kind of how we work.
And I think as far as networking, doing a deal with an agent and getting along and having it go smooth, and then after it closes, you can work with each other and help each other out.
That's probably one of the best things is when you get under contract with another agent and they're like, and you think, oh, I'm so happy I'm working with Laura, and they're like, oh, I'm so happy I'm working with Joel. That's a big compliment,
Nice. Yeah, that when your name, what do they say? When your name beats you in the room, and especially if it's a good thing about you, then that speaks volumes to your reputation. So great. Does anyone have a very, I was going to say awkward story, but a story where you're dealing with an agent on the opposite side of the closing table, and maybe throughout the entire transaction it's just been a headache, but you all iron it out at closing? Does anyone have one of those stories they want to share?
You've been in it the longest.
Yeah, well, just one popped into my mind that I hadn't even thought about. I currently have a bad one, but I don't see that being really pretty at closing, so I'm not going to bring it. But yeah, we had one very contentious closing that we had to put the buyers in. Well, we had to put them in separate rooms and back and forth. But, it all ended up really well. It was cordial at the end, but over the years, they've come in contact with each other, and everybody kind of buried the hatchet. And, it's part of my way I was brought up was to not burn bridges. And I totally believe in that. I just,
we've talked about, so a Starbucks thought is to not create an us versus them mentality. And that everybody, I tell my buyers or my sellers, let's not take anything personal. We're just doing a business transaction here. And let's just assume that everybody is doing everything in good faith. And if both sides can do that and both agents can do that, you can work together. Because in the end, what do you want to do? You want the transaction to be accomplished.
You all want to get to the closing.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Agreed. Does anyone have and this is up for grabs, does anyone have a movie, a book, a quote, philosophy that they live by that kind of motivated you all that you can share with us to motivate us?
Well, I don't know if it's motivating, but when you think about real estate, at least where we're at right now, a lot of things are going up where you're bidding against somebody. So there's multiple offers on a house, right? So the house is for sale for $200,000, but it's going to go over and you're out bidding each other. One of my favorite all-time books is Sway. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's amazing. But one of the chapters is there's a professor at Harvard, Professor Baseman, and he does negotiations. And every year he puts up a $20 bill for people to bid on. And there are only two rules. First of all, whoever purchases it has to pay for that bill. And then second place, no matter what it is, still has to pay their money. So he puts a $20 off the bill right away. Somebody says $5, $6, $7. And what happens is when you know that you're in second place, that you're going to have to pay, you start freaking out and you're thinking about loss prevention. And what he has done, and again, this is at Harvard, Every year, that $20 bill goes up to 30, 40, 50. One time it sold for $217 because someone was at 216, and the whole idea was they didn't want to lose out. So what happens when people are bidding for houses, this is my segue here, people often have lost out on their first house that they tried to get, their second house that they tried to get. So now this is their third house and they don't want to lose it. So they overpay. They start throwing big money out there. And I think a part of being a buyer's agent is really setting expectation and saying, I don't think you want to pay that much for a house. And again, that's the difference between being an agent that's pushing and just doesn't care and just wants to make the commission and wants to make it happen versus somebody that cares for them and say, you know, you're paying $230 for a house that might not even be worth $205, and you might get it and you probably will, but then you might be caught up in a few years and you need to think down the road. So really helping people not overbid because they get all caught up in it.
Yeah. I appreciate that perspective. I wrote that book down because that seemed very, very interesting right there. That experiment that was done. And you said that experiment from Harvard was done. That was explained in that book, correct?
Yeah, it's in chapter 2.
Okay. Yeah. I have to get to that. That's very, very interesting. So I have this question for, I would like for everyone to answer this if you can very briefly, but anyone can. What key lessons have you learned about yourself, the industry, and the importance of serving others throughout your entire career?
Do you want to go first since you're starting on the left?
No.
Here's what I've learned. Money changes people. When you get it, I don't care who you are, but money
That's
changes.
a word.
And
That is so true.
and nobody's above it. And so, you know, you watch it happen to other people, and then sometimes you have an out-of-body experience with yourself, and you're like, oh, that's not the type of person I want to be. So careful.
I love that.
And I'd say, I don't know if this was even your question, but kind of on that, you know, some deals and some clients, you know, might not be worth the stress they bring on. You know, you might look at the commission and think, oh, that'd be nice. But, you know, what it's going to take out of you might not be worth it.
Yeah.
I think I've
Good
shown
point.
her that.
Yeah, maybe she's taught me that.
I love that.
Remember what the question was.
We talked about that during our cocktail hour.
The ability to say no. I think be able to say no. I don't care how much money that is. It's just it's taken years off my life, and you can't buy that back.
Yeah, I use the and Larry, my husband reminds me of this. I worked for a builder way back when, and he taught me lots of lessons. But one of them was he would often say to people in a situation, "I don't think I'm the right person for you. I'm not the right builder." And boy, it either, I mean, I can't even really remember anybody ever leaving at that point. Then they all settled down, and you know, we found a way to make it work. But lots of good lessons.
I had a guy a year and a half ago, another agent, another entity that broke some rules, and I was going to go through the whole deal, and then Larry said, "Do you really want to? Like, is it really worth it?" You know, and in the end, it's not. You know, I'd rather be at home with peace than have another 10,000 and not be at peace.
Yeah,
and I think that's why our group is together. You know, we want to do the right thing, and we're probably, you know, better able to accept that, you know, we're not going to be the biggest team out there, but we are happy and peaceful most of the time.
That's very honest.
Yeah. And that's the way we'd want to live. So
beautiful. Well, we appreciate all of you pulling up a chair to the closing table right here. Our first time having an entire team here. Thank you so much. At this point, if all of you, I should say, have a last word and or want to tell people how to reach out to you, please do so now.
To you, Jess.
Go, Jess. Tell them.
Well, you can follow us on Instagram.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not on Facebook, so
Yeah.
can't find us there because I do the social media.
So what it is
What is
Instagram.
it? Let me get back to you. Smith, Sodeman team, some combination of that. You'll find us. And
We're at Remax.
we're at Remax in East Lansing,
Yeah.
and we are working with the builder, Paragon Building Company, out in Hawk Hollow and elsewhere. So
Jackson,
Yeah.
Hawk Hollow,
Any-
Marshall.
anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. There it is. Thank you all so much again for being here. And for our YouTube audience watching right now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, now is your opportunity to do us all a favor. And that's hit the like button, please. And thank you. Make sure you also share the content and subscribe to our channel. And if you are listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platforms, please do the same. Give us a like, a 5-star rating, and subscribe for our latest content. Jessica, Lord, Joel, I always like to leave our audience with a question before we leave. Audience, this is your question. What's the most random, untraditional place that you've met your real estate agent? Don't tell us now. Leave it in the comments below. Besides that, we'll talk to you next time.